Your world begins with the warm embrace of your mother's arms. You're cradled close, her heartbeat thumping steadily against your tiny body. The air around you is thick with the scent of damp leaves and fresh earth, the jungle alive with a symphony of rustling branches, distant bird calls, and the occasional unsettling growl of something much larger than you. For a moment, it feels safe. But here's the catch. This isn't a fairy tale. You're a baby chimpanzee, and life is about to throw everything at you, often literally. From the moment you're born, the odds are already stacked against you. Your mother, tired but fiercely protective, clutches you tightly to her chest. Her grip is iron. It has to be. She knows one wrong move, a slip on a rain-slick branch, a momentary distraction, and it's all over. Baby chimps don't get do-overs. There's no hospital, no crib with soft blankets, just the endless stretch of trees, their rough bark scraping against your mother's calloused hands. Below, the forest floor is a patchwork of shadows and danger. Predators like leopards, snakes, and even opportunistic eagles are always watching, always waiting. And you? You're the appetizer. But predators aren't the only threat. Gravity isn't exactly your best friend either. For a tiny, wobbly chimp clutching onto mom's fur, one misplaced grip could mean plummeting into a pile of dry leaves, or worse. And if you think the ground looks hard, imagine how it feels. Let's say you're lucky enough to survive those first precarious weeks. Congratulations. Now, you've got siblings to deal with. And no, they're not the doting, protective type. In the chimpanzee world, older siblings can be, let's call them enthusiastic about asserting dominance. Picture this. You're trying to nurse, your tiny hands clutching at your mother's fur, when your older brother shoves you aside with a casual swipe. He wants attention. You want milk. It's a game of who can whine louder, and spoiler alert, he usually wins. If food is scarce, things get even more tense. That juicy piece of fruit hanging just out of reach? It's a battleground. And let's not forget, mom's patience isn't infinite. Push her too far, and you'll get a sharp reminder that even unconditional love has its limits. As you grow, you start to notice something. The jungle isn't just trees and predators. It's politics. And oh boy, is it messy. Chimpanzee troops are like high school cafeterias, but with fewer pizza slices and way more screaming. At the top sits the alpha male, a big burly figure with scars to prove he's fought his way to power. He doesn't just get the best food, he gets the best of everything. Respect, attention, and yes, the most chances to pass on his genes. For a young chimp, navigating this hierarchy is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube underwater. You can't just do what you want. Every move, who you sit next to, who you play with, even who you look at, can have consequences. Step on the wrong toe, and you're in for a world of trouble. And for males, it's even tougher. As you grow older, you'll be expected to prove yourself, usually through brute strength. Don't have the biceps for it? Tough luck. You'll be spending a lot of time on the sidelines, watching the stronger chimps enjoy the perks you'll never have. Now let's talk about predators. Imagine you're perched on a low-hanging branch, nibbling on a piece of fruit. The sun filters through the leaves, casting dappled light on the forest floor. It's peaceful, or so you think. Out of nowhere, there's a rustle, a flicker of movement in the shadows. Your heart pounds as a leopard emerges, its sleek body gliding through the underbrush with terrifying ease. You freeze, hoping it hasn't seen you. Spoiler alert, it has. Your only chance is to cling tightly to your mother as she scrambles higher, her powerful arms pulling you both to safety. But not every chimp is so lucky. Some lose their grip. Some don't see the predator until it's too late. And even when the predators aren't around, the jungle itself can be unforgiving. Torrential rains turn the forest floor into a slippery death trap. Droughts leave fruit trees barren, forcing chimps to scavenge for whatever scraps they can find. Hunger's a constant companion, gnawing at your belly like an unwelcome guest who refuses to leave. As if the physical dangers weren't enough, there's an emotional side to all this. Chimps are incredibly social creatures. They form bonds, grieve losses, and experience joy and heartbreak in ways that might look strikingly familiar. When a mother loses her baby, whether to a predator, illness, or an accident, the grief is palpable. She may carry the lifeless body for days, refusing to let go. For a young chimp, witnessing this is both heartbreaking and a grim reminder of their own vulnerability. Even when tragedy isn't involved, the emotional highs and lows of troop life can be exhausting. One moment, you're playing with your best friend, chasing each other through the trees. The next, you're embroiled in a dispute over a particularly tasty piece of fruit, and your once friendly rival isn't pulling any punches. But it's not all doom and gloom. Chimps are survivors. They're resourceful, clever, and capable of incredible feats of adaptation. Take tool use, for example. Watching a chimp fashion a stick to fish termites out of a mound is like watching nature's version of a DIY tutorial. It's messy, it's brilliant, and it works. And then there's the playfulness. Even in the harshest conditions, chimps find moments to laugh. Yes, laugh, and connect with one another. A young chimp swinging wildly from a vine, only to land in an ungraceful heap, might elicit hoots of amusement from the troop. These moments of levity remind you that, despite everything, life as a chimp isn't entirely bleak. It's just complicated. So, why does it suck to be born as a chimp? Because life is a relentless gauntlet of danger, politics, and survival. From the moment you open your eyes, the stakes are sky high. But in those challenges, there's a kind of raw beauty, a resilience that keeps chimps climbing, learning, and thriving against all odds. And if you thought this was wild, wait until you hear about the struggles of other creatures in the animal kingdom. Trust me, it gets even crazier. But that's a story for another time.